Hi everyone, it's Maria. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to share with you today a few projects that I am working on before Christmas that will hopefully give me a little bit more mental clarity for the new year. Next year for me, I'm going to be focusing on self-care, going a little bit slower, being a little bit more intentional, and cutting out things that are not important to me. Thankfully, YouTube right now is not on the list of things to cut. I really enjoy you guys as a community. I've enjoyed being a part of this. I've enjoyed having a record of what I've been reading and how I feel about things. It's really fun to go back and look at old videos, especially at the end of the year. I went back to watch old goal videos, which I'll talk about in a different video. Anyway, you guys aren't getting cut. I just wanted to let you know that. But there are several things that I have been going through to try and cut out some of the mental clutter. And the first thing that as a reader you'll be interested in is cutting my to-read list on Goodreads. It was ridiculous. I don't know how bad some of yours were. If you'd like to put that in the comments as like a confessional, please feel free. I was up to 630 something, which is just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So while I know all of those books sounded really exciting, and maybe I'll get to some of the ones I deleted, I am now officially down to 300 books on my to-read list, which my husband thinks is still a bit ridiculous. He said maybe I should just copy the list down and then slowly add things back on. I couldn't do that. I just was really ruthless when I cut down the list. And so my requirement for myself was if I didn't remember that feeling that I got when I put it on the list, if I couldn't remember the book, just take it off. So fortunately for me, I still have plenty to go through. And I think I'm going to do what a few people I've seen on YouTube do, where they do a random number generator. I don't like necessarily telling myself I'm going to read a certain book each month or whatever. But one book a month I think is feasible for a to-read list. And I know every single book on that list that I want to read. So I might do next year a number generator every month to see what book I'm going to go ahead and pick off the Goodreads to read list. But anyway, that was the first thing. So I'm down to 300. I really don't see anything else I can cut. Second thing, I have been culling my YouTube watch later list. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I know I don't have time for a certain YouTube binge, I will go through and I will just add videos that I know I want to watch later to my watch later list. And that was also ridiculous. I had over 300 or some videos on there. Now, some of these are a few art related ones that I know are longer and I might want to reference at some point in the near future. Some of them are for homeschooling, which I've created a separate playlist for. But for me, my watch later list, I now have about 100 things on. And some of them I probably could cut. But I'm going to probably take the next week or two to kind of go through and actually legitimately see what on there I want to watch. Some of them are also, homeschool things I want to reference. So anyway, I want a fresh start with my watch later list. I do not want to feel like it's an obligation. Several people, I love watching their videos every single time, but there's some that I just, they're longer videos, and if I don't have time, then I'll just put on my watch later list. I might break it up into bite-sized bits. That's another project I've been working on, just so I can feel a little bit more in control of what's going into my brain. The third thing is a reading sketchbook, and I am pretty excited about this. I think next year I will do it throughout the year instead of waiting to the end. I had wanted to do this for a while, and I had done this a couple of years ago, but I just got a sketchbook out, and I have been going through and painting or sketching some of the books that I've read this year. And so afterwards, I'm going to just write a little bit about each. I might find the quotes that I really enjoyed out of there and put that on the side. I have so far read 108 books, so I have a lot more painting to do over break. But I just thought it was really a fun way to celebrate the books that I read this year. And then if I keep doing this, when I'm done, I can go back and kind of see some of that, and I'm just excited about it. So that's another kind of fun thing I'm doing. I am not a person who owns a lot of books. We don't have a huge house of space. My library is how I like to think of my shelves. I'm in there probably 3 times a week. I'm very close with the librarians. They always will pull holds for me. And I don't have a problem with, we're not too far from there. We're probably only about a 10-minute drive. So for me, I think of them as my library shelves, which is fine. It's a lot cheaper that way too. But it means that sometimes I miss seeing those covers that I get to see on everyone else's videos that they just take off their shelves. And this way I will be able to have a tangible, beautiful record of the books that I've known and loved. So I'm excited about that project. The next kind of goes with the YouTube thing, culling podcasts. I love listening to podcasts a lot, but it was getting, again, overwhelming. So I think I'm probably down to only about 20 to 23 podcasts in the queue. Some of them might not make the cut after New Year's, and that's okay. Because I would love a fresh start to just kind of not feel overwhelmed by what I want to do. I want to instead feel excited about what I get to do in the future. And if I haven't listened to them at some point, it's just like, do I really want to? And then the last little thing is just unsubscribing from emails that I don't care about. Some of you might know that I'm doing a no buying of non-essentials this year, and unsubscribing from emails that send me like sales going on is pretty good idea, I think. If I want them, I can go find them later and add them back in. But for me right now, I'm trying to cut out extras, trying to cut out time on social media. I'm trying to just let my brain land, and it's been really, really good. So anyway, those are the last little projects that I am working on this year, as well as some Christmas things I have to get done. I'm also doing a baby quilt for my cousin. So what projects are you doing? Are you hustling? Are you just saying, I'm done with it? What are you doing to get focused in the new year? Especially if that's something that you feel like you need. So I will talk to you all later. Put any thoughts, ideas in the comments. I would love to also hear from you. How many books are on your to-read list on Goodreads if you use that? Because 300's a lot. But I'm sure some of you have had more, like 600 like I did before. Talk to you later. Bye.